Pro Group Management. Workers' comp that works for you.
This is 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review-Journal.
Good evening, I'm Jen Ah. Thanks for joining us on 7 at 7. In Top Stories, sponsored by Nevada Hand Silver Sky Assisted Living Community. Learn more at nevadahand.org. We told you about the North Las Vegas driver who police say killed 9, including himself, after speeding through a red light on Saturday. That he pleaded guilty to speeding just 9 days before the horrific crash. Now, Review-Journal's JamesMSchaeffer brings us the body cam footage.
Morgan, where you going in this fancy car?
A newly released Las Vegas police body camera video shows the speeding citation given to Gary Dean Robinson, the same driver blamed for causing a crash that killed 9 people on January 29th. Robinson was pulled over and mentioned this was not the first time he had been cited for a speeding violation.
You got a ticket there too?
Robinson had a lengthy criminal record in the Las Vegas Valley, including a conviction for battery on an officer and drug charges.
Drive careful, get home. You also, sir. Thank you.
For the Las Vegas Review-Journal, I'm JamesMSchaeffer.
In wake of this tragedy, we found Nevada police wrote more than 5,000 speeding tickets for drivers going over 100 miles per hour last year. The number of tickets written statewide in 2019 was 3,500, which grew to 4,400 in 2020 before ballooning again to over 5,100 in 2021. Officials are urging drivers to stick to the speed limit, calling those who don't selfish. In weather, sponsored by Star Nursery, your garden's partner for every blooming thing. A wind advisory is in effect through the evening across southern Nevada. A good day to be extra careful with the strong winds, making it easy to swerve on the roadways. Looking ahead, a chilly night with gusts blowing up to 30 miles per hour and temps already in the 40s, set to dip into the 30s. On Thursday, the winds should clear out by 7 a.m. Another sunny but cold day with a high of 55 and low of 34 degrees. On Saturday, some clouds come in, but a nice warm up with highs in the 60s again. In business, sponsored by Bank of Nevada, Bank on Accountability. No sign of snow here, but the winter weather from other parts of the country is affecting Harry Reid International Airport. Around 4 dozen flights into and out of Harry Reid were canceled today, according to FlightAware. Nationwide, over 2,100 flights were scratched due to Winter Storm Landon. And Wynn Resorts reportedly has big plans in the Middle East, teaming up with a developer to build a resort on a man-made island in the United Arab Emirates. But how about its 38 acres next to the Fashion Show Mall here in Vegas?
This was land that was acquired about 4 years ago under Steve Wynn, shortly before he resigned. Obviously the last couple of years, the market has been through just an enormous amount of turmoil because of the pandemic. But even before that, the company hadn't said what it's going to do with this property, and they still haven't said yet.
Wynn says they'll develop the land at the appropriate time. In health, our investigative team takes a close look at a health insurance system that has left Clark County teachers suffering, with taxpayers footing the bill. Review-Journal's Renee Summerhour tells us what they found. Renee?
Jen, THT Health is the teacher-run system that covers 34,000 people, but teachers say some procedures and prescriptions were not approved, and some providers eventually dropped the trust because they weren't getting paid. Critics say the problem stems from mismanagement and questionable expenses, mostly hidden from public scrutiny. An agreement announced in October between the tax-funded trust and the school district is designed to provide both financial stability and transparency.
The trust gets another $38 million in tax funds. And in return, the school district gets more transparency, more accountability, more financial reporting from the trust.
The deal is meant to help the trust reduce its debt, which stood at $55 million as of last July. Under the deal, if the trust doesn't meet its obligations for financial reporting and positive cash flow, it can be dissolved. You can read much more about THT Health online at lvrj.com/investigations. Jen?
In entertainment, sponsored by DiscoverYourNevada.com, brought to you by Travel Nevada. The NFL Pro Bowl at Allegiant Stadium isn't until Sunday, but to get fans pumped, The skills competition kicks off today at the Las Vegas ballpark, where NFL stars compete in a dodgeball game and other activities. The event will air Thursday on ESPN. Also for NFL Pro Bowl week, an attempt at a world record by adding video games into the mix. NFL players will reportedly play the game Madden 22 on the Las Vegas Strip in hopes to break the Guinness World Record of largest projected video game display.
Sports, brought to you by Station Casinos, STN Sports. Download the app today. Bryce Hamilton and Donovan Williams both put up 17 points, and the Runnin' Rebels beat their rival Nevada Wolfpack 69-58 Tuesday night at the Thomas and Mack Center. It was UNLV's first victory over UNR since 2018, ending the Wolfpack's 8-game winning streak over the Rebels. UNLV heads back on the road, taking on the Utah State Aggies Saturday at 3 p.m. Sports betting, sponsored by Las Vegas Paiute Tribal Smoke and Cigar Shop. Los Angeles Rams wide receiver Cooper Kupp is the plus 450 favorite at the Westgate Superbook to score the first touchdown in the Super Bowl on February 13th against the Cincinnati Bengals. Rams running back Cam Akers is next at 7-1, followed by Rams receiver Odell Beckham Jr., Bengals running back Joe Mixon, and Bengals receiver Jamar Chase at 8-1. A bet that no touchdown will be scored in the game pays 200-1.
In Lifestyle, a UNLV professor examines the opposing ways President Abraham Lincoln, who ended slavery, regarded Native Americans versus African Americans.
Lincoln was not terribly interested in Native Americans. He probably sympathized with them, certainly believed that there are things that could be done to help Native Americans.
Michael Green's book, Lincoln and Native Americans, is on Amazon. Thank you for watching 7 at 7. If you're watching from YouTube, don't forget to subscribe to the Review Journal's YouTube channel for more great content. Watch Las Vegas breaking news streaming live on your OTT device. We'll see you back here tomorrow for more 7 at 7.
Review Journal Studio, sponsored by Adam Kuttner. Get the maximum settlement as quickly as possible. This 7 at 7 update, sponsored by Pro Group Management. You're watching 7 at 7 from the Las Vegas Review Journal.